Okay, we're gonna get shooting pretty soon here, guys. We're just gonna do some warm-ups. What I want to do, if we're gonna do like some close stuff on this guy, we're just gonna like warm up with like basic handgun stuff first. You know, we're gonna basically draw from like the appendix position, shoot like real close. But first, we're gonna just do some dry fire drills, real basic with the handgun. Work on our basic movements from the appendix position. Hit the steel. Then we'll go from the steel to hitting this. MP5. You know, one of my dream guns is an MP5 SD. I've always wanted one. That's like the pistol caliber carbine. I would like really like that, even if it was in semi-auto. But MP5 SD, like if I can ever get my hands on one of those, I'd be super stoked. And what's great is I'm finally on an SOT now, and so basically what that means is that I'm technically an employee at a gun store now, and I don't have to wait for tax stamps anymore. So I can get suppressors and SBRs. All I have to do is pay the tax stamp, and I can take it home the same day. And the paperwork takes a lot quicker time to clear because of the SOT. You know, now we're going to be able to have a lot of cool shit sent to us without the need to wait like 9 months or even longer to like wait for SBRs or wait for suppressors and stuff. We can just use that shit right away and start making content with it, which is really cool. If you guys are curious, the holster we're running today, T-Rex Arm Sidecar 2.0. I think it's the 2.0. Super modular. You can take this whole side off. They have like a tourniquet holster, AR-15 mag holster, and you can like basically change it to whatever you want. Again, shout out to Lucas from T-Rex Arms. He sent me this. So this is what we're using today. This is my EDC holster. We're just going to do some dry fire draws, reloads, nothing super crazy. And we'll just do some like very standard shooting on the steel target at like 25 meters here. Nothing super crazy. Just start slow, smooth as fast. Click in. Just draw. Red dot's a little bright. There we go. It's always important to get reps in dry fire. Even when you're at your house, you can train even with airsoft guns with this kind of stuff. There's really no reason not to get more reps in, because the more reps you get in, the more efficient you're going to be, and the less you're going to have to think about stuff that you're going to have to do in a stressful situation. UK drillers, hey, there's nothing wrong with that though. Seriously, you don't have to be in the United States to like try and learn about how to handle firearms properly. Even if you are in the UK, you can get an airsoft gun that weighs just as much as like a real gun, has very similar handling and stuff. You could get a holster for it, and you could train. Will it give you the exact same training of shooting a gun? No, but everything else in terms of handling, aiming, firing, aside from the live fire part, you're going to be able to get that training in. So just because you live in a country where you don't have the accessibility to firearms doesn't mean that you can't train. Shooting competitions? Not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily be against it, but right now my training is just purely out of the enjoyment of training with firearms, because you know, I've always been a martial artist my entire life, or at least most of my life. You know, when I was like, I kind of started when I was like 16, and guns are a martial art. It's the modern form of fighting. They're the modern tools for fighting. They're the modern daggers, long swords, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just a martial artist, man. I like combative stuff, and I like training a lot. But you know, maybe if one day if that takes me to, you know, competitive shooting and 3-gun and stuff, yeah, maybe see myself doing that. See, it's important to work through that kind of stuff. Notice how I got caught and I moved the shirt and followed through with the drill. It's called following through. Just because you're like, oh no, I fucking caught my shirt and reholster, that's not the point. Because if I was saying a real life or death situation, like that's the kind of movement that I need to have, because if in that situation for whatever reason I don't properly clear my shirt, I'm going to need to move it anyway. So if you want to get a Glock, what's best for your money? Oh, get a Glock, dude, for sure. I honestly think a Glock is one of the best handguns you should get as a beginner. It doesn't have the best trigger, but it works. It always works. It's never going to quit on you. And I think it's a great starting gun. And one of the reasons for that, and this might be a bit of an unpopular opinion, is because it doesn't have a safety. The safety is your trigger at the end of the day. Is it important to always have safety up and down? Absolutely. But with Glocks, it teaches you how to keep your finger straight off the trigger, pull the trigger when you're ready to fire. And it really helps give you like good trigger discipline when it comes to using a handgun. COD gamers don't like recoil. No. It's not COD gamers, bro. It's Tarkov gamers. Don't say that. It's Tarkov gamers that don't like fucking recoil. It's Tarkov gamers that want the game to be easier and they want to be spoon-fed everything and have an easier experience so they can just win all the time. It's not the COD gamers. It's the fucking Tarkov gamers. So don't get it confused. Because if they were COD gamers, they'd be playing Warzone. People are really going to realize with these next couple updates that the game is going to be making some very big changes, especially when it comes to aiming. I just put up a new YouTube video about it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And again, people are going to complain that, oh my god, hip is so much harder now. What the hell happened? Well, good. Fuck you. Now people aren't going to be able to 180 you and fucking beam you with these long-ass rifles anymore with no recoil. Now you're actually going to have to land your shots and take time to aim well. Again, Tarkov gamers, for whatever reason, there's like the community of the EFT peeps that have been around that like the challenge and enjoy the suck. And there's the people who are like, they don't want it to suck and they just want the game to be easy and they want to have a walkthrough. Moving and shooting is hard because there's a lot of oil that's like naturally built up in your skin that's actually good for you, and it's naturally occurring. It's supposed to be there, and when you use a lot of these unnatural soaps, it actually strips that away from you all the time. It's probably why a lot of you guys got dandruff, really flaky, really unhealthy looking hair, is because you're frankly just using stuff on your skin and your scalp that's really shouldn't ever be there to begin with. But that's just me. That's how I live my life. You guys can do whatever you want. I knew I was low because I could feel the weight in the gun. Once you shoot certain guns enough, you know how much ammo you have, especially handguns. Depending on how the gun feels in your hand, you can feel the difference in weight. That's why when you train with a gun a lot, you'll like start to pick up on small shit like that. That's why I knew I was low. I thought I was empty, but I was in the mag. I still had one in the chamber. My stance is like leaning forward. You notice that, right? So there's a philosophy when it comes to shooting guns. It's very similar to martial arts. So when you're in a boxing stance, right? It's usually like this if you're orthodox, right? You're leaning forward, hips down, hands up, chin down. It's the same thing with a rifle, right? There's a lot of things that carry over from like hand-to-hand combat to firearms. Maybe, you know, not everything, but with the stance especially, you don't want to be out like this, you know, leaning back. You really want to be in to the weapon, really leaning over. Your back needs to be like arched a bit. Everybody's a little different. Some people stance out like this, some people square up. Me, I kind of like to lightly, you know, square my feet out, not too much. But a lot of that stuff translates over, and it really helps you get a lot more control of your rifle. bump my chin there a little bit. Do you have to wait between every shot? No, we're just conserving ammo. And when I go to the range, I have a bit of a philosophy of like crawling, walking, jogging, sprinting. So we're not gonna be like ba 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 and like running around like right at the gate. We're just really quick, bang, reset, moving around a little bit, doing very basic movements, and then we'll pick up the intensity for sure. I'll mount you guys on my head once we kind of get around to like running around and shit. But for now, we're keeping the intensity kind of low, just because it's good to practice your fundamentals. People always think that, you know, you always want to do like high-level drills all the time, and you should be doing all this crazy shit. But if you do that all the time, you're fucking your foundation up. Because if you aren't practicing your fundamentals, the foundation at which makes those higher-level drills more efficient for you is not kind of wasted because you're not really good at the basics. All right, mag dump it is. Mag dump for chat. Alright, let's go pack mags. Is that a bump stock? No, it's just my finger, bro. Yeah, it's just my finger. I'm gonna make some girl really happy one day, but I'm a gamer, so, you know, one day is like never. Did I stage my mags right? No, I didn't stage my mags right. I was wondering why my reloads were feeling kind of weird. So sweaty, chat. So sweaty and hot. Alrighty, guys. I think we're gonna call it there. Nice, good range stream. It's kind of hard to make these go longer. Like, I would like to do these for about 4 hours, but man, it's kind of hard to stretch out a range stream for 4 hours, especially considering ammo. But I think once we can finally get like an instructor out here, somebody to actually like kind of train us and like run us through some stuff, it'll definitely go by a bit longer. I think next range stream this week is going to be a long range one, because we haven't gone out and done any long range in quite a bit, so we're going to be doing some sniping. May or may not stream later today. Usually when I do these range streams, it's kind of like my one stream for the day. And I've kind of been cutting back on gaming just because, man, it feels good to get the fuck out of the house and actually touch grass a little bit more, and just like not be inside on the computer all the time.